Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. In the last two lessons, I introduced the accounting equation. In today's lesson, I will show you how to use this equation. Well, there are two types of transactions, external and internal. External transactions are economic events happen between the company and outside enterprises. For instance, buying office equipments from a supplier or providing service to a customer. While internal transactions are economic events that happen inside the company, like using the office equipment. Some activities performed by the company lead to business transactions, and some don't. So, each activity must be analyzed to find out if it affects the accounting equation or not. If it has an effect, then we record a transaction for it. Okay, as we illustrated in the previous lesson, the two sides of the accounting equation must always be balanced. That means each transaction must have a double effect. Let's show this to you by examples. In example 1, we have a laptop that was purchased by Peacekeep company for 5,000 US dollars. This amount was paid in cash. This means that Peacekeep company cash decreased by 5,000 and its equipment increased by 5,000 US dollar, which is the value of the laptop. Both cash and equipment are asset accounts, so they appear on the left hand side of the equation. Because it is plus 5,000 and minus 5,000, the equation is balanced. In example 2, we have 20,000 US dollar invested by the owner of Peacekeep company. The amount was paid by the owner in cash. Accordingly, cash increased by 20,000 and the owner's capital, which is an owner's equity account, increased by the same amount. So we have 20,000 US dollar increase in both sides of the equation. In example 3, Peacekeep company bought office supplies for 1,500 US dollar. They didn't pay the amount in cash. They will pay it later. So it is now on credit. That means the cash account will not change. Instead, the amount will be charged to the account payable. To recall, the account payable is a liability account that shows the money owed by a business to its supplier. Also, office supplies account will increase by the same amount because now we have an increase in office supplies. So we have 1,500 US dollar increase in both sides of the equation. In example 4, Peacekeep company performed a consultancy service to a client. The company charged the client an amount of 3,000 US dollars. This amount was paid in cash by the client. Accordingly, the cash account increased by 3,000 US dollars. In this transaction, the company gained 3,000 from selling a consultancy service. Accordingly, the owner's equity increased by 3,000 due to the revenue that they achieved from the service. In example 5, Peacekeep company advertised for a vacant position in a magazine named Economy News. The cost of the advertisement was 500 US dollar, but it was not paid in cash. Instead, it was on credit. That means the amount will be charged to the account payable. So, we have an increase in the account payable by 500 US dollars. This transaction means that the company has incurred expenses of 500 US dollar. Accordingly, the owner's equity account will decrease by the same amount due to the advertising expense. In example 6, B scheme company performed a consultancy service for 3,000 US dollar. 1,600 US dollar of the amount was collected in cash, and the remaining amount of 1,400 was invoiced to the client. So, the cash account increased by 1,600, which is the amount that was collected. Also, the account receivable will also increase with the remaining amount of 1,400. To recall, the account receivable is the fund that customers owe your company for products or services that have been invoiced. This transaction means that the company has achieved revenue of 3,000 US dollar. Accordingly, owner's equity increased by 3,000 US dollar. As you can see, the equation is balanced. 3,000 US dollar was added in both sides of the equation. In example 7, B scheme company paid some operation expenses in cash. 500 for apartment rent, 2,000 for salaries, and 100 for electricity bill. Here we have a decrease in cash with 2,600 US dollar, which is the total amount of expenses. Also, in this example, the company has incurred expenses, so the owner's equity account will decrease by the same amount. Before solving example 8, we first need to recall example 5, which was in slide 8, when we said that the company advertised for a vacant position in a magazine for 500 US dollar on credit. So this amount was added to the account payable because it was not paid in cash. In this example, the company paid this amount to the magazine. Accordingly, cash decreased by 500 US dollar, and the account payable will also decrease by the same amount. Similarly, before solving example 9, we need to recall example 6, which was in slide 9, when the company performed a consultancy service for 3,000 US dollar, collected 1,600 US dollar in cash, and the remaining 1,400 was invoiced to the client. The remaining amount of 1,400 was charged to the account receivable account because it was not collected in cash. Now, the company received this remaining amount of 1,400. Accordingly, the cash account increased by 1,400 US dollar, and the account receivable decreased by the same amount. In example 10, the owner of the company withdrew an amount of 5,000 US dollar for his personal use. So that means there is a decrease in cash by 5,000 US dollar, and also a decrease in owner's equity by the same amount. Okay, let's now recall what we have said at the beginning of this lesson. Number 1, each transaction must have a double effect on the accounting equation. Number 2, the two sides of the equation must always be balanced. Now, if we have a look at the cumulative effect of the transactions that we have done in all the previous examples, we found an equal balance on both sides of the equation by an amount of 19,400 US dollar. Now, please take a short break and come back to solve this example. And please write your answer in the comments of this video. That's all for today. Congratulations for finishing this lesson. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please subscribe. See you next lesson. Bye bye.